Hello again. Welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. And you watched the previous episode, you might have noticed it's been almost 300 cycles since the last recording, and that's because I went. I enjoyed the game too much. I just kept playing and just didn't bother to record a video. Anyway, in 300 cycles, I'm pretty sure you would expect there to be a lot of stuff to change, and a lot of stuff is immediately noticeable. First off, I have a lot of plastic tiles, plastic ladders, all that stuff. That's because I found out how to make plastic without having to go to the oil biome and without having to deal with that annoying thing. And that's because I made a glossy Draco farm. It was much simpler than I thought, and I think I put in a subtitle in the video saying that I researched and found out how to make one of these. And aside from that, just in case, I also have a backup of slicksters now, which is great. But the thing is, you can see there's barely any crude oil being produced, and this used to be so pressurized with gas, but now there's almost none. That's because they oh my god, they consume all of it. They consume so much. That's why I decided, you know what, maybe it's time to invest in a wood burner. I mean, it's another it's another form of power generation, and it produces a lot more carbon dioxide, which I need for these guys. So yeah, aside from it, I guess this is just an episode of mostly catching up. One thing that's new is I'm running out of oxygen. I don't know what happened along the line. I didn't add another duplicant or anything. Just for some reason, my oxygen generation is now completely below. It's below what below what I need. I don't know why. I don't know how this happened. Also, as I'm scrolling down here, I've made it into the oil biome just because I was curious. And I found out that the vent that I was looking at for like, I think since episode 1 is just as I thought. With my luck, it's a fucking steam vent. It's not a cool steam vent, which produces steam at a cool oh, not that one. A cool 110 degrees. No, this is the steam vent producing at 500 degrees. That's yeah. Then I went here, I found another one, and it's an iron volcano, so that's not good. And then I went down here as well. From my other side, I went down here. I dug and I dug. And thankfully, it's a carbon dioxide geyser. Produces at negative 55 degrees. I don't think it's gonna be strong enough to overpower this area and cool it. Especially, it'll reach a point where it'll be overpressurized and won't produce anything, but I'm hoping that it'll at least make it manageable. And I dug here, poured all of the water here, and it's now making a bunch of weird stuff, steam and all that. And my hydrogen! I'm out of hydrogen. I am completely out of hydrogen. I also replaced this as a wall. I mean, not a door anymore. Which is kind of stupid, I think. I mean, I think it serves the same purpose as a door, except that the door is something I can open. I'll think about that later. And this little circuit here is it's actually quite a simple circuit. This is just a memory toggle, an AND gate, and a NOT gate. So basically, the idea is this will open once both this gas reservoir and this gas reservoir are empty. It'll open these gas pumps, and then it'll turn it off once this reaches full. And this is the end of the loop because the gas goes in here, then in a snake pattern this way. And then I built more reservoirs so that I could just keep, I could just store more. Essentially, even though this is the closer one to the base, and even though this is the one that's gonna provide hydrogen first, this is essentially the backup because these will empty first, because it's gonna drain and go here. So these will empty out first, and essentially this will be the reserve. And I don't need to attach the circuit there anyway. It's fine. I can explain this, but it's just gonna, you know, be boring Boolean algebra stuff. I think, yeah, I didn't show this. I've completely cleaned out this area. I don't know if I showed that in the last episode or if I did that in the last episode, but basically, yeah. I think that's all that I did. I built more storages, that's all. Some stuff that are, you know, just minor stuff, not really much of an impact. But yeah, the issue for this video is I'm running out of oxygen. I absolutely have no idea what happened down the line, but I am on very thin ice right now. Oh yeah, I made more storages in here as well to number 1 store. Where is it? Coal, and then also to store lumber, because these are the resources I need. Oh yeah, and also along with running out of oxygen here for some reason, I'm also running low on algae, so that'll soon be an issue. Oh yeah, here, this entire area has also been dug out. The thing that I was thinking of is I wanted to make a hydrolyzer, just so that I can produce oxygen and hydrogen and then feed that as more power for my hydrogen generator, I guess. The issue is where to do it. My first thought is here. I also thought here maybe. I dug this area out just for the resources and stuff. But I'm thinking now that I see it, it's this area that's better. It's right next to the water reservoir, and frankly, it's a much shorter place to go. And also for the gas, for the hydrogen to be rerouted from the hydrolyzer, if I build it here, it's just right above there. There's the generator. Oh wow, that one wood burner is doing work. We're having carbon dioxide again. That's perfect. It is heating up the place, which is it's a, one would say it's bad for heating up, but this place was, like I said before, specifically made to be hot, especially for these critters, because their comfortable range is in the heat. All right, I can't tend to these things properly now because I disabled this thing because it's running out of oxygen. Maybe I should just disable it. Brumpo keeps trying, but they keep running out of oxygen before they can finish it. So yeah, I think I should just do it here. Oh, that's a lot of pipes in the way. I mean, there is this opening here that leads directly to it, so I guess that's fine. I can work with it. What are we doing on oxygen? Still very thin. Oh yeah, just to explain how this room works, this glossy Draco room works. I have farm tiles here growing mealwood so that the Dracos have something to eat because they eat live mealwood. And I made it airtight so that, well, at least on the ceiling it's airtight. That I pumped hydrogen here and it will not escape, and it covers about half of the room, or at least half of the room's height. And I keep it oxygen below so that the mealwood can grow. And the thing with glossy Dracos, or just Dracos in general, whatever they're growing, either their fur or their plastic scales, it can only grow in hydrogen. So I have this entire area with hydrogen so that, you know, if they can crawl on the ceiling and their scales will grow because they'll be in hydrogen. This entire area here I just dug out because I had to maximize the room. If I go in this tab, it's as huge, it's as big as it can get. The room size is 96 tiles and the maximum size is 96 tiles. So why didn't I even this out instead? It's so that there's more walk room for them to be in the hydrogen, so that they spend more time growing their scales. Because if I made it even, then they just have this one box to go in. Meanwhile here, they have a long area to walk around. And depending on their AI, they may even stay longer in it. So yeah. So with this farm, plastic is not an issue, and so is phosphorite. And I just got a notification here. I got a long hair larva, which is... It's... I don't know how to feel about it. The long hair larva is a different version of Sticksters. They inhale oxygen instead. But I don't think they produce anything. I think they're just good pets. I don't know. Oh yeah, these things. I made a rock crusher in a kiln just so that I could make steel. I do have steel, which is great. You don't know, steel is like the best material for... Well, at least the best early material you can get. I know all this progress and it's still counted as early material. But steel is essentially like your stepping stone into hot places like the oil biome if you want to go down there. Or in space, you go up there. Because space, I mean steel is extremely durable of a material, a building material. And it has the property of having plus 200 degrees Celsius in overheat temperature. So it's really good with extreme heats. Cold is not... I don't think cold is ever an issue unless you're dealing with liquids. I'm surprisingly running out of coal. Let's see, how many lumber do we have? I don't know if that's a lot of units. Let's see, how much units does this thing have? That doesn't seem to be a lot, huh? Okay, I can disable this one. Because the hydrogen generator and the coal generator alone, before I upgraded the system, seemed to be enough. But, I don't need to use that much now. Because I have a wood burner right now. I'm running out of coal for some reason. Again, this used to be like 30. Am I making? No, I'm not making refined carbon, so I don't know where that's coming from. Well, I guess I'll make more steel since I can. And I will be needing it in the future, near future. Oh my, I was just thinking of... I was thinking it was time to upgrade the polluted water storage. It is quite cramped, not gonna lie. But unfortunately, I've built a bunch of storage bins here. Thing is, I have way more storage where it could be moved. Oh, I'm just thinking I should just destroy these and do it again. Yeah, I really want to expand this so that I can store more polluted water. Then eventually I'll expand my water collection as well. Thing is, do I expand the water first, then build the electrolyzer? Or do I expand downwards and move these hatches somewhere else? Because that is also an option. I do have this entire unused area here. I could easily move them here. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Oh wait! I just thought of... I did get one new duplicant. I did get Old MacDonald. So that I could have a dedicated farmer. I mean, I already had, but you know, more farmer because I had way more farms now. I have 2 food farms and 3 animal farms. Was that one duplicate enough to tip the scales on how much oxygen I have from overproducing to just barely making enough? Or are you an air breather? Did I... Well, hang on. Bio. Where's your bio? Okay, so Old MacDonald isn't a mouth breather, so that one change just simply tipped the scales. I think that's all I need. Oh wait, no, critter drop off. Yeah, I don't need to make an incubator anymore because, well, I don't need to incubate anymore. The big issue in moving is gonna be this oxygen stuff, though. This gas reservoir could be piped somewhere else. I mean, it is chlorine. I could just pipe that somewhere else. Safer. So I don't just have a tank of chlorine that I could accidentally destroy and just spread chlorine all over my base. Oh yeah. My water is almost completely clean. And this used to be out of germs. If you were wondering why my water supply and my sewage system suddenly got disinfected, it's because I accidentally introduced slime lung into the water supply because I routed my algae distiller's output to my sewage system, so that dropped slime lung everywhere here, and then I would the automation system would automatically filter the water and make it reclaimed water and bring more slime lung here to kill off the other basically the food poisoning germs. And now this is essentially mostly clean for some reason. That was an accident. That wasn't even, I wouldn't even call that a stroke of genius. Alright, so I decided to take this long and arduous journey of building another gas tank here and then just piping it there. I mean, I have no other choice, honestly. I just have to do this that I can move that and then utilize that space, and I'll probably move my, well, this system there. In fact, I can even just go ahead and actually no, I'll wait for it. Oh my god, this was just 11 tons a while ago. Now we're at 9.8. I am chewing through my algae for some reason. Also, I think it's safe to say that I can remove phosphorite from this list. It's not a thing that I need to be worried about anymore. I have essentially a dedicated farm for plastic and phosphorite, so that shouldn't be an issue anymore. I could use the Weezworts as much as I want. Well, hopefully this pillar is enough to delay it. I really need to make algae. Oh, I just thought of something that was that should have been obvious. I should probably make a slime farm. Very easy, to be honest. I just need an enclosed airtight area with just polluted water everywhere and have just a bunch of puffed these guys, they inhale polluted oxygen and then they poop out slime. And considering it's a room with polluted water at the bottom, the slime will drop down in the water, and then the water will prevent it from outgassing back into oxygen. So it's actually one of the simpler stuff to do to make algae, and it's safe because then that polluted water, I'm assuming, is clean, and it being clean will produce clean it's kind of ironic to say, but it's going to produce clean polluted oxygen, and that polluted oxygen, once it becomes slime, is not going to have slime lung. So I should have done that from the get-go, but you know, I didn't really think I would reach this point of necessity that quickly. Oh, the hydrogen vent is working now, or it's not dormant anymore. I turned this off. This is a backup to turn it off. It's a hard shutdown. It'll turn off the power, so even if the automation grid is telling it to do it, it won't do it. So yeah, there we go. We can see it snaking through to the reservoir, but since everything is empty, it's just going straight into the generator. Then yeah, good thing it's not consuming that much, so it'll slowly build up, and then build up in these tanks, and then eventually these ones, and then this circuit that I made will function. I could try to explain it. I really want to try and explain, but it's just boring stuff. Oh, God bless algae. Oh, made a mess, and oh, how would you do that to yourself? Actually, make this priority. I guess they're going there already. Get it done. Save yourself. I'll start with expanding first. I'll start expanding my sewage system first. Then maybe I could do something with that. I was gonna wait until they get everything so that they didn't have to swim in poop water just to do it, but you know what? I think it's been long enough. I'm just gonna build it. Gonna make this expansion. Who's where? Where is Mima? Oh! How does that keep happening? As you can see, I'm also building the pump. Ow. So that they don't have to do this. Again, they don't have to do the sopping wet and pea water. I am starting to get low on food as well. So that's something I need to worry about soon. We start thinning this out. Just want to make sure there's no power line that I'm gonna dig through. Oh, instantly destroyed the pipe I made. Well, in the in the end, they still had to do it in poop water. There we go. It's a deluge. Oh, there. Storage is max built. In fact, I have to lower this food supply for the things because it's not reaching the water anymore. There we go. I was wondering why this wasn't sending the chlorine back. It's gotta the, but I get it. It needed to have an input and an output for it to, you know, release. Even though this input isn't really connected to anything. Anyway, there goes the chlorine I've been storing forever. This new home, another tank. Then once it's all said and done, I can move the oxygen generation here. Oh. Now begins destroying of these temporary pipes that I made. Now that it's all been moved, I don't really need this, and it's just gonna be clutter. So yeah, I'm gonna destroy those, and then I'll move oxygen stuff here. Oh yeah. One thing to note. If I open one of these specific building materials or buildings, you'll notice that I have a bunch of different types of refined metals, but I got a bunch of lead. I got this here. This is where it's stored. And the thing is, lead is a refined metal that you can just dig right here in the oil biome. That's one of the benefits of going to the oil biome. Is because lead is such an easy to get refined metal, and then it's each block is in huge amounts, like 2,000 kilograms per tile. And you can just mine a bit of it, then take it out and then store it and then cool it, like in this place. The lead is now at negative 33 degrees instead of 80 from where it was. And the thing is, lead is... having 20,000 refined metal is so good, especially if you're trying to build a... Well, actually it's good just for wiring, you know, because... The thing with lead is, if I go back here, properties are thermally reactive and high thermal conductivity. So it's about the same as gold, but it's without the plus 50. In fact, it's minus 20 degrees. So that means that whatever you're building with it will overheat much faster than if, say, you were with gold. Because gold adds 50 to that. This one reduces it by 20. So this is good for wiring. Because essentially wiring doesn't really heat up that much. I don't think it produces heat on its own. It's bad if it's around, power generators or whatnot, but still, it's still pretty decent. It's still pretty good. Not really that big an issue. But for wiring, like say in your base where everything's cool and all that, I'd say it's a good investment to have. It just really is. Oh, I am pumping all of the oxygen into down there. I mean I didn't almost. I actually forgot to filter it. I forgot to wire this. There we go. Once that's built, I can essentially just delete this. Make walls, break, and I'll be done. Very simple. There we go. I expanded both of my water areas, my sewage and my reclaimed water. I need more water. And where will I get that? Right here. I just need to pump this liquid up there. I mean, it's not being used anyway, so it's fine. There's a much shorter way I can do this. Ah, yes! These ladders will prove to be most beneficial for me. And... oh my god. There we go! Just like that. Once they build this... need to power it though. Oh, there's power here! Perfect. And I have so much lead. It's not an issue. Honestly, I would wire that with just simple wirings on this one. If the power consumption in this area wasn't peaking over 1k regularly, but it does. Especially when a lot of things are open. Even just going through the doors sends a lot of spikes. See? Becomes yellow, that means it's getting strained. It's over 1k during those moments, I think. And there we have it. Sending that liquid straight to my sewage so that I can reclaim it and fill this up, hopefully. And yeah, I've been recording for a bit longer than I normally do. Granted, I wasn't speaking a lot of it, and some of it was just waiting. But for now, I know this. I didn't really get much done in this episode, but I figured I'd do this one just to catch up first. I mean, it's been 300 cycles later. Almost 300 cycles later. So, I figured it'd be better to have some sort of, just recap to what I've been doing and what I am about to deal with. Namely oxygen. Still breathable. but getting thin, and I'll deal with that in the next one. I'll probably make a algae farm, and I'll do a dual solution, just so that I have, again, I like having wiggle room what I'm doing, and essentially having two of the solutions means, or at least I hope it's gonna be like twice more effective. I'm gonna make the algae generator and or algae creation room and the electrolyzer room. But for that, I'd probably need more water. That's the final explanation as to why I built this pump here, and why I wanted to expand these water tanks that I have, is because I need all of that polluted water so that I can refine it into a water sieve and make this huge amount of water, because I'll be using the water for the electrolyzer, but most probably I'll start with the algae generator first. And so yeah, thanks for watching.